I want to welcome everyone to the 6th Boots, Jeans, Beans, and Barb-b-que. I like to add a couple of more phrases to it. God bless Tennessee, and thank goodness we got Jack Johnson. We've got a great program this afternoon. As you can see, many of our leading Republicans are here, and you'll hear briefly from most of them. But first, I want to take the opportunity to recognize globally any of our elected officials from the city of Franklin, from the county, our judges. So if you're here and you're an elected official, please stand and let us just give you a round of applause, and thank you for being here. Join me now as we welcome my senator, your senator, and our state senator, Jack Johnson. Let's give it up to him.
Thank you, Mayor. How about a big hand for Mayor Ken Moore, doing a great job for us with the city of Franklin. I'm so proud and grateful to have Mayor Moore and Linda here with us today, and I want to thank all of you. Boy, this is a great crowd. Every year we've done this. This is our 6th year. First year we did this in 2007. We had this at the Rec Center, the Williamson County Rec Center, and I think we had about 100 people that showed up. So we built it every year, and I'm very grateful for your support. This is an election year. It's a primary election year, and you know what? The good news is Republicans are in control of the state of Tennessee. Is that good news? We've been waiting a long time. Deanna and I met in 1992 at a Young Republican event in Davidson County, and at that time, Democrats controlled everything. Now Republicans control everything. The good news is we're doing a great job for you in state government. We're lowering your taxes. We're balancing our budgets. We're doing everything that we told you we'd do as Republicans. Thank you for being here. Thank you for your financial support. This event is about 2 very simple things. One's having a good time. One's raising a little bit of money for my reelection effort, and I'm grateful for all of that. Now, let's hear from our very special guest. You know, if the 2 folks that are up in Washington, D.C. representing us, if they had their way and the United States of America was governed the way these guys think that it ought to be, we'd be in a much better place. I am so proud. I am so proud to call Marsha Blackburn my congressman. She is doing an outstanding job. And you know, we got these signs up here, and I see Romney, Corker, Romney, Blackburn. I think either one of those have a good ring to them. I mean, either one of these guys ought to be on the ticket as far as I'm concerned. So, but let's give a big Williamson County welcome to our very own Congressman, Marsha Blackburn.
Thank you, Jack. Appreciate it. Thank you. And how exciting it is to be here. How much each and every one of us that are standing on this stage appreciate Williamson County and what you do to make it possible for us to serve. Thank you so much. And thank you for being here to support Jack. You know, he was talking about the others that he works with in the General Assembly, and I know Senator Corker agrees with me. We work with our state elected delegations all the time, and I have to tell you, working with Jack and with Glenn and with Charles is such a pleasure. They truly have the interest of this county at heart, and the decisions they make are decisions that are made in conjunction with one another and with our local elected officials. They do a great job, and I am pleased to be here to support you and to recognize all of those that are elected and are serving our great state. Well, who is ready to win in November? I think that our #1 goal between now and November is to send Barack Obama packing. It is time for us time for us to get him out of the White House. It is time for us to make certain that Mitt Romney is the next president of the United States. And everywhere I go, enthusiasm is building. I got in about 1 o'clock this morning from Charlotte. The National Young Republican Board was over there having their meeting. We had Mecklenburg County, North Carolina. I helped to open their headquarters, and everywhere I went, people were saying, you know what? Mitt Romney is going to win in my state. Mitt Romney is going to carry my state. And all of our friends in North Carolina were saying, we're ready to get a new governor because Tennessee is eating our lunch when it comes to economic development. And I said, we're going to keep doing that. But we have a great thing here in Tennessee. We know we're going to win. We've got to make certain that our neighboring states win so that we have a new president in the White House. We've got work to do. We've got taxes to repeal. We've got Obamacare to repeal. And we've got borders to seal and secure so that we protect the sovereignty of this great nation. Thank you all so much.
Now for our featured guest tonight, Senator Bob Corker was elected in 2006. He and I, interestingly, were running at the same time. We were involved in a very competitive primary at the same time and a competitive general election. He is making us proud in the United States Senate, and let me tell you why. Because Bob Corker comes from a business background. He's a very successful businessman, and like Mitt Romney, he knows how the private sector works, and he knows that the government is not the answer. The government doesn't create the jobs. We need an environment that creates the jobs. And I've been to a number of occasions where I've had the opportunity to hear Senator Corker speak about the deficit, about the impending disaster that we have in the United States of America if we don't get this deficit under control. And I'm so proud he's from Tennessee. He's leading the effort to get that fixed, and we're just so honored to have him here with us. So let's have a big Williamson County welcome for United States Senator Bob Corker.
Thank you. I am truly excited to be here. I've been on the Barb-b-que circuit. It's summertime in Tennessee, and I was in Overton County last night, and I can't think of a better place to be on a Sunday afternoon than here in Williamson County, and I thank you for the warm welcome. I thank you for the kind comments that so many of you have made, and I am, again, so glad to be here on behalf of Jack and Deanna. I did meet Jack during his primary time. I was doing the same thing. I don't know of anybody in the state Senate that has represented the people that they represent better than Jack. And Jack, I'm glad to call you a friend, and we're all here because of you. Thank you so much. Absolutely. I'm thrilled to be with all of you who make the political process work. You're the people that lay the groundwork to make things happen, and to be with all the local officials here which have made this county and this city such an outstanding place, to be with these wonderful folks who make our state look so good. About 10 o'clock every morning, I get what's called the Tennessee Clips in my office, and I'm able to read for a moment about what's happening around the state of Tennessee in various places. And to all of you who work in our General Assembly, who work for this great governor as commissioner, I got to tell you, each day I wake up and I'm envious because of all the wonderful things that are happening, the great business environment that you're creating, and the better future that you're creating for people like Zoe up here. So thank you all for what you do. I greatly appreciate it. And to Marcia, what can you say? I mean, the Energizer Bunny, every time I talk to her, she's come in at 1 o'clock from some other place, helping some Republican cause. She's no doubt a national leader. She no doubt understands what drives that, and that's her roots right here in Williamson County. And Marcia, it is an absolute pleasure to serve with you, and thank you for everything that you do. So, our country has gone through a period of self-doubt ever since we had this collapse in '08. And for the first time in my adult lifetime, I'm 59 years old, I'm hearing Americans say things like they don't believe that the next generation is going to have it as good as we've had it in our generation. I've never heard that as an American, and it makes me believe that this is the most important election since 1980. I believe that with all of my heart. And if we are successful, and even if we aren't, but certainly if we're successful, the most important thing that we can do as a nation is ensure that we live within our means and we put these fiscal issues so far behind us and begin again, as I mentioned, focusing on making our country great again. And by the way, I think that we will. On July 4th, here in Nashville, I heard somebody read with incredible passion the Declaration of Independence. Candidly, I hated to get up and speak after them. They were so good. And it reminded me of three words: life, liberty, and the pursuit of happiness. And our forefathers, they thought seriously about adopting the same language that the Commonwealth of Virginia had adopted, and that was life, liberty, and the possession of property, which is a good thing. But our founders knew that for Americans to rise up and do the things that we need to do as a nation, we needed to have a clause in there that espoused a moral value, and the pursuit of happiness was just that. Study after study has shown that in a secular sense, there's nothing that makes people happier in life than earned success. Nothing. There's nothing like going out and earning success yourself and having the opportunity to be a great teacher or to be a great leader or to be a great businessman. And there's no system in the world that allows that to happen like the free enterprise system that we have in this nation. And it's been under attack, especially over the last 3 years. I'm on the Foreign Relations Committee, and I know that you know I travel a good deal. Apparently a Tennessean reports that well, too. I've been to a lot of yucky places around the world, and I try not to go to places that, candidly, people in Williamson County wouldn't want to read about me being in. So I go to a lot of places where people are really poor and impoverished. And I can tell you one thing, that when you go to these countries and you see women out on the corner trying to sell goods, trying to make it with their families, they are emulating the system that we have in this nation. And because people around this world have tried to emulate this great nation, hundreds of millions of people have been lifted out of poverty. So when we elect Mitt Romney as president, and when we put this fiscal issue behind us, and I think that we will, and we get on about making this country strong again, let's not forget what the founders of this great nation put in the Declaration of Independence: life, liberty, and the pursuit of happiness. And let's not forget that it's this great free enterprise system that has made Williamson County great, has made Tennessee great, has made our nation great, and it's the thing that has caused so many Americans to realize their dreams. I think if we will do that, we can absolutely ensure that this was one of the most important elections that has taken place in 3 decades, and all of us will have made this nation a much better place to live. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Senator Corker.